All right, so check this out. The ketogenic diet, which is often referred to as just the keto diet, is a high-fat, low-carb eating regimen designed to shift the body's metabolism from burning carbs to burning fat for energy. This metabolic state is called ketosis. Now, by dramatically reducing carbohydrate intake and increasing your fat consumption, the keto diet forces the body to utilize fat stores for energy, promoting both fat loss and a variety of other health benefits. Now, let's break down the key elements of the keto diet. All right, so the core concept of the keto diet is the macronutrient distribution. For one, you have fats, which is going to be 70 to 75% of your calories, proteins, 20 to 25% of your calories, and carbs, only 5 to 10% of your daily calories. Now, the goal of keto is to enter a state of ketosis. That's where your body begins to produce ketones. That's an alternative fuel source derived from fat. When carbohydrates are drastically reduced, usually below 50 grams per day, your insulin levels drop and the liver begins converting fat into ketones. This is a good thing. Now, your energy is going to shift. Instead of relying on glucose, the body adapts to using ketones and fatty acids as its primary source of energy, and that will burn fat and it improves your brain health in so many ways. Now, there's a couple different ways to do keto, and I'll break that down right now. You have what's called the standard ketogenic diet. That's the most common approach with a very low carb, moderate protein, and high fat. Then you have what's called a cyclical ketogenic diet. That's when you're having periods of high carb refeeds, such as 5 keto days and then 2 days of a high carb. Then you have a targeted ketogenic diet that allows higher carb consumption around your workouts to fuel your exercise performance. Then you have a high protein ketogenic diet, which is similar to the standard. That's where you have a higher protein intake, usually around 35% of protein, 60% fat, and 5% carbs. Let's get into the types of foods that you want to eat while you're on keto, right? Primarily fats and oils. Avocados, coconut oil, olive oil, butter, fatty cuts of meat. From your protein sources, you want to have grass-fed beef, poultry, fish, especially the fatty fish like salmon, eggs, and cheese. And for your low-carb vegetables, leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, and bell peppers. Also, nuts and seeds. You have macadamia nuts, almonds, chia seeds, flax seeds, and pumpkin seeds, but all of those you want to keep it in moderation. Then we have dairy, high-fat options like cream, full-fat yogurt, and hard cheese. Berries, you want to be very, very moderate about this, but small amounts of raspberries, small amounts of blackberries, and small amounts of strawberries. Now, the foods that you want to avoid, you want to stay away from. The obvious is sugars, sweets, sodas, fruit juices, and most desserts. Grains and starches, that's bread, pasta, rice, cereals, and any grain-based food. Legumes, beans, lentils, peas. Also the high-carb fruits like bananas, grapes, apples, and other tropical fruits. Also, you want to stay away from processed foods as much as possible. Highly processed food, especially those with hidden sugars and unhealthy trans fats. All right, now let's get into the healthy benefits of a keto diet. First and foremost, you're going to notice is your weight loss. Now, keto is highly effective for weight loss, especially around your midsection and your belly fat, and that's due to the body's increased ability to burn stored fat, right? You will feel an increased cognitive functioning. Ketones are a more efficient energy source for the brain. It leads to a sharper mental clarity and protection against neurological diseases like Alzheimer's. Also, you will feel an enhancement in your energy and your endurance. If you're an athlete or a fitness enthusiast, you're going to experience improved endurance in your performance as the fat is a long-lasting fuel source. And then for your health, right? For those interested in their health, your blood sugar and your insulin control. By reducing your carbohydrate intake, the keto diet will help regulate your blood sugar levels, which can be beneficial for people with type 2 diabetes or that's insulin resistance. The shift from using fats for fuel can lower inflammation levels in the body, and it helps reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease. Also, epilepsy treatment. This was originally developed as a treatment for epilepsy early in the 20th century. Keto has been used to reduce seizures, particularly in children who do not respond to conventional treatments. and the potential anti-cancer effects. There's so many new studies that's showing that the keto diet does help slow tumor growth in certain types of cancers by starving the cancer cells of glucose. Now we talked about the good, now let's talk about the potential challenges that you might have from the keto diet, right? There's a thing called the keto flu. So as your body transitions into ketosis, many people will experience flu-like symptoms such as fatigue, headache, irritability, and muscle cramps. This usually lasts around 1 to 2 weeks, and it can be mitigated by increasing the amount of water you take and by drinking hydroglyph, all right? Now, digestive issues. Now, some people may experience constipation or discomfort in their stomachs. That happens when you switch over to keto due to the lack of fiber from whole grains and fruits. Another issue can be nutrient deficiencies. Because the diet restricts a variety of food, it's important to ensure proper intake of vitamins and minerals, mainly magnesium, potassium, and calcium, but you can also do nectar superfoods, which has so many different ingredients in it, and it tastes incredible. Now, another practical thing that you might deal with is its difficulty adhering to it perfectly. The restrictive nature of the diet can make it hard to follow long term, and many people do revert to eating carbs once they've achieved their goals. Now I want to talk about the holistic considerations for the ketogenic diet. Now, while the keto diet focuses primarily on the physiological shift from burning carbs to fats, achieving long-term success on keto requires attention to more than just the food you eat. It's incorporating holistic considerations into your keto journey that will ensure that both your mind and your body are aligned for sustainable health improvements. Now, I want to break down some key areas that I want y'all to consider. Now, the main thing is your mindset and your mental health. The ketogenic diet, just like any other lifestyle change, is as much of a mental challenge as it is a physical. Adapting to a new way of eating can be stressful. I mean, if you're coming from a high carb diet, it can be very stressful. So here's a few mindset strategies that can help you. First and foremost, just have patience with the process. It's going to take time. You might not do it perfectly in the beginning, but keep trying. Another main thing I always say, words are magic. Positive self-talk. Emphasize the benefits of the diet, such as improved energy levels, better mental clarity, or fat loss, rather than focusing on what you're giving up. And another thing I'm always going to throw in there, another strategy or tactic that I always employ is mindfulness meditation, all right? That alone is going to help you manage stress, especially when the cravings and the temptations come about, all right? Another thing that people deal with is emotional eating and their relationship with food. With keto's restrictive nature, it can highlight an individual's emotional relationship with food. Now, you want to identify triggers. You want to be aware of situations where you might reach for carbs out of habit or stress and develop a healthier coping strategy. Also, you want to focus on food enjoyment. Experiment with keto-friendly recipes and spices to make meals satisfying beyond just the nutritional value. Then you must consider the social and environmental factors. Keto can be very challenging in social situations where food choices are often limited, so consider these strategies. Plan ahead. Prepare for social events by bringing keto-friendly foods or checking the menus before you go. Communicate your goals. Let your friends and your family know about your dietary restrictions to avoid pressure, and you don't want to stray away from your diet. Flexibility without guilt. If you slip up at a social event, just get back on the next day. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to guilt yourself for that. Then we have physical and emotional balance. Incorporating other healthy lifestyle habits into keto will enhance its benefits. So exercise. I hope y'all are not watching my videos, taking these strategies and not working out, all right? Regular strength training and cardio improves fat loss and muscle retention on keto. You also have to prioritize your sleep. You want to try to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep to support the metabolic health. All the work's done while you're sleeping. And you want to have a connection to nature. Now, reducing stress by spending time outside, grounding yourself in nature, that can balance your physical and your emotional health. And also, you want to find a spiritual connection. For many, a diet is part of a broader journey of self-improvement. Now think about this. You can take intermittent fasting and pair it with keto. That can both be used for metabolic benefits and also spiritual growth. All right, first and foremost, start slow. Gradually decrease your carbs to avoid severe side effects. Begin by lowering your carb intake by 20 to 30 grams each week. And focus on quality. Choose whole, unprocessed foods. Avoid unhealthy fats like hydrogenated oils or highly processed meats. Also, you have to stay hydrated. Now listen, water alone is not pure hydration. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, because the carbohydrate restriction can lead to dehydration, but that's why we got HydroGlyph. I got you covered. Also, make sure you're tracking your macros. You can use an app to track fat, protein, and carb intake to ensure that you're hitting your goals and staying in ketosis. And do not slack on your workouts. You need to be training every day, maybe almost every day, but you need to be consistent with your workouts. That's gonna make sure that you build the muscle properly and burn the fat that you wanna lose. All right, and intermittent fasting. It's my favorite. And many keto followers integrate intermittent fasting to increase their ketone production and their fat loss. Now, you may wonder, how do I know if I'm in ketosis? There are tools for that, all right? Use measurements. So there's one called a urine strip. These measure the presence of ketones in your urine. Then you have blood ketone meters. That's the most accurate way to measure ketone levels in your body. Also, there's breath analyzers. These devices, they measure acetone levels in your breath, which is another ketone body produced during ketosis. Now, let's say you want to transition off of keto, a gradual carb reintroduction. Once you decide to come off the keto diet, if you decide to come off, slowly increase your carbohydrate intake to avoid blood sugar spikes and weight gain. Focus on whole grains and vegetables. When you're reintroducing carbs, prioritize fiber-rich, low-glycemic carbohydrates such as sweet potatoes, oats, and quinoa. So in conclusion, the ketogenic diet can be a powerful tool for fat loss, for mental clarity, and overall metabolic health. However, it requires commitment, careful food selection, and a clear understanding of how the body adapts to different fuel sources. While it has a wide array of benefits, particularly for those who are looking to lose weight and improve metabolic markers, it isn't for everybody. I'll be the first to tell you that. Now, as with any dietary plan, personal factors such as lifestyle, health conditions, and long-term sustainability should always be considered before diving into keto or any other diet for that matter. So there you have it. That's the skinny on a keto diet, all right? Give it a try, let me know how it goes. Comment down below what you'd like to hear next, and I got you. All right, we out of here. Peace.